Oh, by the way, I think Google Docs is going to be dropping. They're going to just go software-based
Standalone kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm not completely sure I understand, but I think what that means is it'll become an quote-unquote application.
Yeah.
And because they started releasing that application-based thing, which is still web-based. It's just that you have to go to the apps to launch it, and it'll probably still launch in the browser. Just like if you guys remember that old Asteroids game that Google came out with, and then there was some others. I can show you.
I thought more like it'd be more like kind of like Dropbox or GitHub, their app where you just kind of sync things to a.
I don't think that's what they meant. It might.
I hope that isn't what they meant, because I use it for work as well.
Yeah.
We have a number of things which makes it very easy. But if we have to download software as well, that's gonna be just a fucking pain in the ass. Because it means I gotta go around and install it for a start.
I already installed the apps, but what I'm going to show you here is in a few seconds, maybe you'll get to see it. I'll click. I have in the upper left-hand corner of my Chrome browser the apps key. I also have an apps link in my browser, in my desktop, but I'll click on that and you'll see I have Store, Atari's Asteroids, Gmail, Google Docs, and so forth. I think it's going to work like that. And now, for instance, when I click Asteroids, hopefully this doesn't get loud or anything, there's a little game of Asteroids that I can play. So it's an app. Almost standalone, not quite, still runs in the browser. So I'm thinking it's going to work like that, but I'm not sure.
That would be at least vaguely better.
Yeah.
Because you don't need installing Chrome apps, like say AdBlock and everything, doesn't require admin permission on Windows Server 2010 for end users, so they can relatively easily install that without me having to go around and log in as well. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. All right. Anyways, it's May 18th, 2014, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Good evening. Welcome to episode 426 of Mods on Air, bringing you the week in gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I'm Foilman, and also we have with us today is Welshie. Hello, Welshie.
Hello.
And Breezy came in today. Hello, Breezy.
Hello.
Hey, and looking at your two profiles, first of all, Welshie got up early and stayed up late, and he looks more awake than Breezy over there.
Yeah, it was a long day yesterday.
So before we begin, let me remind you all this show is recorded live. You can join us, or you can go over to the ModsOnAir.com website and check out all the past episodes that we've ever had. Subscribe over at Mods Online, because that actually helps us keep the websites up and keep promoting these kind of things. But note that there may be some adult language or themes. If that offends you, then you won't get a refund, but you can turn off the feed and just stop watching.
Tickets are non-refundable.
Tickets. You know what? I think they're starting to get ready for E3 because I've been seeing some stuff regarding E3.
Yeah, I've seen a few things that are like, hey, you know what bugs me is where they have like they'll have a trailer for a game for the trailer for E3. Trailer. Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah. Hey, Morphus. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's
like, hey, here's the trailer for the big reveal we're doing at E3. Like, okay.
Well, I'll let you know if anything's going on because I'm going to E3, and I'll be here this Sunday before and after for the show, so we can discuss whatever's happening, which will probably be not much.
Not a lot, yeah.
And in 2 days, I got to go over to a Microsoft meeting, so we'll see how that turns out over in Chicago. It's supposed to be Microsoft Xbox, not just Microsoft. It's like Xbox.
I'll have fun with that.
I know, whole day of it.
That'll be really exciting.
Hey, they promise snacks.
Yeah.
Great.
Going for the free food. I like it.
I'll probably have to be an Xbox Live Gold subscriber in order to get anything.
Oh, what's that? You're a membership. Yeah,
Oh.
what's that?
Okay.
Just free Wi-Fi. Oh no, you gotta have an Xbox Live Gold. And that.
Sign in with your Xbox Live. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Account, and you can have internet, all the internet you want, when it works. It is Xbox.
For $14.99 an hour.
I hope they do something like that. That'll be great. That'll be fun to talk about.
Listen to, and they just in the like the auditorium or whatever the hall that you're in, they're just piping in 14-year-olds yelling at down microphones. Into the,
and children crying. Crying children. Oh, those griefers. All right. Anyway, we'll get to Xbox in a moment. There are some Xbox topics coming up. But first I'm going to talk about a different kind of game. Borderlands 2 is apparently on Vita now. The problem is they did a complete port. And the reason why that's a problem is because a complete port means taking a version that's meant for the PC and trying to make it play at the same frame rate on this little portable device. Which, you know, I've noticed in doing some ports of my own. The Vita actually does have some frame rate issues that are tough to resolve.
Borderlands 2.
If you're not making a game specifically for the Vita on the Vita.
And this game is out.
But if you're trying to take what you've already built on for other devices, including Android or iOS or something like that, you try to port it over to Vita, the Vita will have some frame rate issues.
So I've been playing it since
I do think it's kind of ironic that for once it's a PC port to a console that's bad.
Yeah. I was just shocked at the fact that he tried to port this game, which was a fairly hefty game.
So I just thought I'd take you guys through it a little bit. And
This is ported with almost all of the DLC included.
Jesus.
I mean,
So you know
how
it's a-
many gigs is that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's going to be
The Vita
memory
doesn't
card.
support any discs now, does it? It's all download.
memory cards. You can download it onto your memory card.
Okay, so yeah.
There is some internal memory, but really there isn't enough internal memory on these things. You have to have a memory card, and you can't share memory cards. The memory card is locked to your device. You take it out and put in another one. You can't read anything on it. It'll say, "Do you want a format?" And that's all you'll ever see.
maybe just a symptom of the
Delightful.
this game.
So, but that's good. You know, that's the piracy protection there.
Probably all already played it.
Yeah, but it ruins that whole thing. That what used to be fun about consoles is it's the bring your own controller.
It's probably a pretty small percentage of people.
It's where I could go over to a buddy's house and bring my memory card for my PlayStation, and we could play some of the saves off my game.
Game with a whole bunch of DLC.
Yep. I know. Yeah, there is no such thing as a save game that you can share.
Just shy of 6 gig
Jesus.
without
Wow.
DLC.
If that's
Well, that's for the PC, right? So I wonder
Yeah.
what it is on the Vita. Maybe they crunch down textures or something. Looking at it, well, I can't say looking at
Apparently
it
they
because
have.
the thing is
it does look good. The Vita, when you're playing the Vita, it really does look good. If you take a game and you put it on the phone and put it on the PC and put it on the Vita, looking at it on the Vita is kind of impressive.
certainly. So
The problem is the frame
what
rate.
gets me with this is that while the whole game is here,
I was reading, I'm sure they said they cut down on the graphics
there's some
Okay.
just to get it to fit on there, but I don't know if that's true or not.
one is that you have to
And you'll notice that the biggest problem is whenever you call up the menu system, because then you're dealing with the GUI, and putting layers of the GUI on top on the Vita is when you really get some major frame rate issues, because it can't handle all the draw calls.
playing with an actual controller.
And I'm wondering where in the video he does. There it is.
Around to, you can see him pressing buttons.
I found a spot in the video, and you'll see him clicking in, and you may see some stuttering. That in this case, that might not be Twitch. That is the game.
Apparently the controls are awkward as hell as well.
Is really small, especially
Oh, well, that's because the Vita decided to put the touch interface on the back as well as on the front. So you have both touch interfaces, and yeah, that does become confusing.
unlocked. It's just very, very small, and it feels
As a developer, you're like, well, what do I use? You have too many options. And think about it, for a user, you also, again, you have too many options. You give these people too many things, and they all get confused, and they put it down.
you can just see there like the way.
Well, it's that, and it's something that's designed to play on a PC, and then you're just forcing it over to a handheld console. Like, it's not the same, and it's not even close to being the same thing.
That's why Steve Jobs had it right. One button.
Would rather be playing with an actual controller. Have it
That's it. Don't give the users any choice.
these triggers.
Don't allow them to think. Ow.
There's also the issue of online, which you can only play with one other person in this room.
We can also talk about Titanfall if you want. Titanfall's already announcing their DLC.
Yeah.
Shocker. That's what's that? $15 DLC?
Probably.
I don't know. My buddy says
$30.
My buddy texted me on Friday, I think it was, and he says, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting Titanfall. It's 40% off." I'm like, 40% off? That sounds like a lot off, but wasn't the game really expensive? So I jumped in, looked up Origin, and I looked at the price, and the price was, now it's $35.99 or something like that. And I said, it's still $36. And he's like, oh, never mind. That's too much still. It's a $60 game.
Yeah.
Hi, Ham. Glad you made it.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, better late than never.
Yeah. Well, I'm sleepy, but I'm glad to be here.
It's a lively group today. Wow.
Yeah, it's because you put this damn show on too early.
All right.
No,
I blame the
stayed up way
government.
too late. I do too.
So we're talking a little bit about how Titanfall has new DLC coming out. So you have a $60 game. Oh, 35.
Yeah, but this DLC is 3 maps. That's even worse than Call of Duty. At least Call of Duty gives you 4.
Oh, do they? I thought Call of Duty did 3 as well. All right, I was right. Is that Battlefield then? Battlefield does 3 maps?
Battlefield does Wake Island. That's what they do.
New DLC, Wake Island. $30. You know you want it. Watch the video from when we did it in 1942.
Yeah. Hey, remember that map you absolutely hated? Yeah. Do you want to pay for it? No.
Not really.
Not really.
Well, now you have to.
Now you have to, because everybody's playing it. Every server is running it.
Speaking of Battlefield, when I mentioned it, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
And I said I was going to play more of it to get a better opinion. I
Yeah.
have not played it since, so
That says quite a lot.
there's your thing right there.
Have you had the
I've
time?
literally gone. I've been sat. Yeah, literally.
Oh,
I've been
okay.
sat here bored as hell. And I've been like, should I play Battlefield? No, I'll play Kerbal.
Oh, wow. I have played Battlefield. I kind of enjoyed it. I did all right. I didn't get owned in the first 5 seconds. It's not full of, it's not like Battlefield 2.
It wasn't so bad, but I just haven't gone back to playing it. Maybe if I had other people playing it, maybe I would.
I will not purchase it.
How come I never heard of that from Morphus? Morphus saying that they removed 2 game modes on the PC version and then put it on sale?
For which game?
I'm assuming he means Battlefield.
No, I think it's all about Titanfall.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
But yeah, like it. That's the point where it did, isn't it? We got a Titanfall video playing in the background and none of us care. So we're talking about something else. Like it's.
If it was under $30, I'd consider checking it out.
So it's actually almost $40.
It's 36 right now. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's on sale, 40% off.
Oh my goodness. People are just gonna gobble it up.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I'm so upset that they're doing this. But how can I be?
What did you expect? I mean, really?
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
And the worst part is they're just continuing that tradition of let's put out a really substandard game and charge $70 for it, and then charge $15.99 per every 2 months on top of that for shit that should really have been in the game in the first place.
Wait, that's Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Like it's just further pushing, like propagating so now it's just going to continue, and the next big game developer will do it, and it'll just keep going and keep going.
Well, since I brought up Elder Scrolls, did you see that something else is going on over in Elder Scrolls? You know that a lot of these MMOs have bots. Bots basically automate some of the processes, like going out and getting gold or just slashing rats or whatever the hell there is going on. I've never used one, so I don't actually know the ins and outs of those bots themselves. But now they're having an issue on this game, Elder Scrolls, which is number 26. There we go. And that doesn't help because it plays a GIF in my Internet Explorer, which I hate. And it doesn't play there. All right, screw it all. Where bots are going in and causing issues, like lining up, causing players to line, bot players to line up on top of NPCs doing quests and stuff, and they say it's getting in the way of the game itself.
Queuing for stuff.
Yeah.
They're British.
You know why there's so many bots? It's not because people want to farm gold or anything like that. It's just the game's so boring, no one wants to play it. The bots are there to make it look like there's people playing it.
Mm-hmm. I would say that there's some truth to that.
Well, this article goes on to say that this one person's reporting like 100 a week. So that's got to be fun for the developers to be getting that kind of feedback. But they also said that they'll see some of the admins going into the game and start banning, and then they come in the next day and it's full of bots again.
I've said this before. Like, this is the game that nobody wanted.
Mm-hmm.
What everybody wanted was Skyrim co-op.
Yeah, you're right. Very well put.
And this is not it. This is an MMO that nobody asked for, and they're trying to capitalize on the fact that people loved Skyrim to sell this.
Yeah, look how much money we can make. Why make a co-op when we can make this?
It's going to be interesting to see if a couple of months down the line this does go free to play.
I imagine it will.
Oh, it's guaranteed.
It should have started that way, and
yeah,
I would have considered purchasing it just to hang out in something, but there's no way I'm going to do a subscription. No.
Nope.
I mean, we should have seen it coming because of the way how cagey that guy was when Strider was talking to him.
Oh.
About subscription fees and one of the big questions Strider asked was, how are you going to avoid falling into the Star Wars trap of making really, really high quality content and then not being able to compete with the development time, because you've made it. It's amazing, but then it takes you 8 months to put something out,
and it's not even that amazing.
No, it's not. All right, where were we before? We were talking about Titanfall. I guess we'll jump over to what's next on the list. More Titanfall. Far Cry 4 has been announced for November release. So apparently they've been secretly working on some stuff.
Yes, secretly.
They were working on it during Far Cry 3.
Yeah. The guy in the poster with the pink suit looks like a white Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So I generally saw that and went, it's not Dennis Rodman. No.
But it's probably voiced by Dennis Rodman.
Oh god.
I want to read what they're writing as a description for the game, but basically, if you've played any of the other games, that's the game, just a slightly different setting. 2 games ago it was the desert. I think last time it was the jungle again, maybe? I don't remember because I didn't want to play that.
Jungle. That's what I didn't understand. Is Far Cry 3 was jungle-ish.
Yes.
And then they said, oh, this is completely different.
But it's still the jungle.
Yeah, an untamed region of Kyrat, whatever.
Leave the jungle behind. Welcome to the jungle.
Teeming with wildlife, so we'll be shooting deer some more.
And they're already, if you scroll down, they're already plug in the pre-order with the deal, the bonuses.
Are they? I didn't see that. I don't see it.
Yep.
Oh.
Limited edition upgrade with the pre-order.
They just announced the game, and you can pre-order it now and get. And so they're already telling you that they're going to leave stuff out of the game.
Yeah, basically.
I wish I knew actors' names more. This guy looks like he's showing off for some teen movie where he's gonna go and I don't know. I don't want to go. Never mind. I'm not that crude.
I couldn't even get into Far Cry 3. I just couldn't.
I didn't particularly think Far Cry 3 was bad. I just found it dull.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just couldn't get into it. It was
I played it twice for about less than an hour each time.
Like I played it for a couple of hours, and it just didn't grab me. Like I just didn't want to keep playing.
Never did play it.
Well, were you playing the single player or the multiplayer? I was doing multiplayer.
I was playing the single player.
Single player.
Yeah. See? So it's really both ends.
I didn't even realize there was a decent multiplayer on it.
There isn't.
There isn't. There's a multiplayer, just that's as far as it goes. Now, we did talk about E3 and how that was coming up and how some news articles are coming through on that. Well, Crytek is already trying to jump on board with some of that stuff. They're talking about 2 games that they're going to announce over at E3. One of them, they gave you the titles, but really no information. Well, a little information on one. One of them's called Arena of Fate, and the other one's Grave Project. Now, Grave Project has no information whatsoever, and really, Grave Project could refer to any type of game, any type of situation, even though most often, if you look it up on the internet, it has to do with, I don't know, finding articles written based around Africa, but that's all I could find right away. The Arena of Fate, however, is supposed to be some sort of MMO.
Oh boy.
I thought it was online only. I didn't see the word MMO.
Black Sea, Crytek Black Sea, working on MMO called Arena of Fate.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And then they say it's some kind of MMO, MOBA, or action RPG.
It's gonna be a MOBA, isn't it?
Or hybrid.
Hang on, how can you have... They're like all different things. It could be one of these things, you'll have to find out. Ooh.
They're like,
Suspense.
let's jump on all the bandwagons at once.
Yeah.
So that's very like, let's put every buzzword we can think of.
It'll be a flight sim.
Well, this rumor was from over a year ago. So they've been working on it a while, and now they're getting ready to actually talk about it. Who knows?
So we'll see
I'm just overly bored of this whole hype train. That
I'm not even sure.
Like seems to do now.
I'm not even sure. I'm not even really excited to go to E3 this year. It's just, like you're saying, it's just a hype train and without any real content.
Yeah, it's literally just like, oh, you know, it's what I was saying, like right at the show, the start of the show, the trailer for the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all just hype it up, because our game isn't that great, so we want to, you know, when you spend more money on marketing than you do developing, there's something very wrong with that. Because if your game is amazing, it should market itself.
Yeah, you're right. The whole scene is sort of like daytime television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's drama for the sake of drama, but no other reason. It's not anything real. Okay. But there's another one, 4A Games. They say that they're working on some sort of Metro game, another version of Metro of some sort.
So soon?
What?
Were 4A the ones that did Metro before?
Yeah,
they did 2033 and the
They
sequel
were they?
last night. Yeah.
I was trying to work out what they'd done. I remembered seeing the name.
Well, it says that they're working on something new within the same storyline or
same universe.
Right.
2033 was great. Loved it.
Right.
It was based on the book. I've read the book as well. The book was really good. 2034, not so much.
But you did play that almost the whole thing, I think, right?
I played it all the way through, and it's well done, but it just didn't have. It didn't have the feel of the first one.
I always have a hard time comparing, since I'll think to myself, well, maybe it's because it was so much like the first one that it's just boring. But maybe it's not.
It was more. I think the first one I had, like, playing it was I felt very vulnerable playing it. Like, it was quite easy to die and bullets were difficult to find. Like, you know, I spent a lot of that game running around constantly on the verge of running out of ammo. Mm-hmm. Which makes it, you know, it adds to the feel of the game where you're like, oh shit, I need more bullets. And they did that very well. Like, they paced it enough to where you never really actually ever ran out of bullets, or you did once or twice, but it just felt like you were constantly... It fit very well within the universe. But then the next one, I didn't feel that at all. Like, I just felt like they just threw ammo at me, and I got all the big guns, and, like, it just didn't...
Okay, so they did make it boring, not... It's not because it's a reiteration, it's because they gave you too much within the game.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's that they kind of just bowed to pressure, maybe? Because a lot of people complain about the first one, saying that the controls were clunky, and which they were. And, you know, a bunch of other stuff that was like, oh, you know, and they compared it to a lot of... They compared it to, like, Call of Duty, pretty much. So I feel like on the next time around, they changed some stuff up, which kind of... It ruined that kind of desperate feeling that you got while playing it. Because they added all these new guns, and, like, it was just like, this is now too easy.
It seemed like they were going in the wrong direction during development, or like maybe they were losing a bit of focus, because wasn't there for just a little bit there was a controversy because they were gonna make multiplayer for
yeah and then they decided not to, and it was kind of like it just leads back to exactly like it's almost as if they tried to like pander to the masses rather than just going, you know what, let's just make the game that we want to make.
Yeah. And I bet if people were really hyped or something for multiplayer, they would have left it in. But I think a lot of comments were like, "This is not what's."
Yeah, that's not what we liked about the first game. Is like, I think plus it wasn't. This one was kind of. It was written by the person that wrote the first book, but it was written more as it just wasn't as good. I think the story wasn't as good. It felt very much like we're continuing this story just so we can make a game.
Okay. And it's weird how you can get that feeling what you do for certain things. This didn't need to exist in this capacity. So
yeah.
I wonder why they didn't make 2034, which I think is the actual written sequel.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Which isn't even available in English, I don't think.
What is it, Russian?
No, I don't think it is, because I
Russian.
tried getting hold of it. Yeah.
It I think you can there's like free online somewhere, but you have to use like Google Translate to be able to read it if you don't read Russian.
Just brush up on Stalker and I'll be good to go.
All right, here's a game that's been announced called Bombshell, and I don't want to give you any backstory on it until you see some of the video that goes with it.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, it's seconds behind though. But Welsh did post a link in there if you want to watch the whole thing right yourself, and then you won't have any question whether or not the crappy graphics that I'm displaying here were for real.
Fellow citizens, fellow Americans, as we head toward a new age, an age of boundless technological progress, we head towards a sea of unforeseeable challenges.
I'll let this video play and then I will restart.
Seek to irrevocably tie us to an increasingly globalized world. They seek to strip us of the things that make our lasting democracy so great under the guise of a unified Earth. Our way of life. A single people. A people controlled by an insidious and unseen power. This power seeks to not only strip us of our sovereignty and the prosperity.
Alright, so I'll take it from there.
But to strip us of our individual freedoms as well. Against this power.
Hello?
Yeah, Skype crashed on me.
Awesome.
It was because of the horribleness of this video.
Could well be.
restart the WinApp too.
It's all gone horribly wrong.
Oddly enough, I can't get this to play at all.
That was weird.
There, now I got all you.
I tried to reconnect and it sent me to your voicemail.
Odd. Skype took it down. Alright, so anyway, going on, talking about this video that we had here. This is put together by 3D Realms. And if you still don't know what 3D Realms is about, Duke Nukem. These are the same people that tried to make Prey, and I think Cinemax turned around and says, yeah, no, no. We're giving this to somebody else. Radar Group, take over. I mean, Prey 2 is a game that was actually at PAX for people to play, and they yanked it from them afterwards. But yeah, it's the video on this thing is just disgusting.
It is horrific.
They should have used actual motion capture. Yeah.
And then it just gets like steadily worse.
This is straight out of 1994.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody made this going to Full Sail or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly that bit where she holds up like the shotgun or whatever it is to the...
The motions are all wrong. The rendering and lighting in this is all wrong.
I mean, it's just, it makes you wonder, are you serious? Was this supposed to be released? Was this supposed to be made? I mean, did somebody win a contest?
And it's on the Unreal Engine, or it says powered by Unreal Engine, or Unreal Engine, but there's no reason why that shouldn't look, that should look anything like that.
Unless it's a phone game.
Rocket to the face.
Possibly. This is, no, it's just PC and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I know. It's not on the phone.
This is next gen.
Well, we're going to see it at E3. So that's how far along that they plan, or they're going to unveil it. I don't know if we're going to see anything.
I understand if it was an indie game or something, but if they're being able to show this off at E3, it means they've got quite a substantial amount of money behind them. Which, yeah.
Bombshell is set to completely blow you away.
No.
No.
It did.
And I'm not coming back. Yep, alright. You don't want this, Morphus, that's the point.
Yeah.
No one wants this.
But Wolfenstein does look interesting. I don't know, I'm really mixed on this. It's not a game I want to... I want to play it, but I don't want to play it. Did you guys see the trailer that shows off Stealth versus... What was the other? It was called Stealth versus something. Mayhem or something?
Mayhem, that's it.
Which one is this? Which one video? I've got two videos here that I could play.
I just...
No, not this one.
I just can't do it. I can't pre-order stuff anymore.
I can't either, and yet I did. I don't know why. I'm not even excited about this game. I felt like I did it to have some sort of sense of completion about the franchise.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, something to look forward to in the mail.
I will have to just wait. I'll do what I did with the last Wolfenstein, which is just wait till somebody buys it and then tells me how much it sucks.
Wait till it's under $30.
And I hope it's not. I hope they've like turned it around and you know, the trailer, however the trailer makes it look, is that, you know, how it plays.
I've seen nothing really worthwhile about the game so far. I think there was one fight that I saw in one of the streams that was actually good, and it's because the enemy didn't take just a couple shots to go down. I've been thinking lately, there's something I really like about the original Quake or Quake 2 or even Quake 3, the Riddick games, that it's when you fire enemies, it feels like they have armor. It doesn't feel like 2 shots and they're dead. I really dislike that about a lot of games that sort of have that Call of Duty like idea that one shot will kill everybody.
Well, that being said, like, it depends what I'm playing.
Yeah, it
depends on the context of the game, because if I'm playing like Armor, for example, I shouldn't have to shoot someone 6 times to kill them. Once should be really enough to at least incapacitate somebody.
Yeah.
Which actually Armor has a bit of a problem with sometimes, where you do actually have to shoot somebody like 12 times before they... but then something like, like Riddick or this, you know, I can see they have like special armor or something. Like, as long as it's within context, then, you know, I'm fine with that.
And I mean, that's what I want. It's if I'm going to get these big, crazy, powerful guns, I want enemies that can sort of withstand that stuff. I want to feel like, I don't want to feel like I'm mowing everything down. I want to feel like I'm sort of playing
interesting. That's what I felt like with Metro. Like, it was like that I was actually just as vulnerable as everybody else in the world. Whereas, you know, if you play something like Call of Duty, it's like, yeah, I can take 60 grenades directly to my brain.
That's what's happening to this game right now. The video that's playing now is the Mayhem version, where it looks like he's getting shot and shot and shot, but it's not getting dead.
Which, I think that's fine, but I don't like that. It seems like a shooting gallery.
Yeah, there should be challenge.
Right, there should be some challenge to it. And it doesn't seem that way. I mean, of course, it looks adequate, but it doesn't look impressive. I don't know.
I'll wait until it's on sale.
I'll just wait until it comes out and people will tell me what it's like.
It'll probably
Even
be
with games I want
$20
now, I just wait for them on sale because the sales are just inevitably happening.
Yeah. As I'm ordering it, or pre-ordered it, which I had some store credit, so I got it for a bit less. But as I'm doing that, I'm thinking to myself, this game's gonna be $20 by December. And I
pre-ordered it anyway.
I know, and I did it anyway. I don't know what's wrong with me.
They got you.
That's the thing. They didn't even get me. I'm expecting a bad game.
It's the same feeling you get every time you spend money on microtransactions. I don't want to support this, but I really want this skin.
Yeah, I just look at them like I can't have all the Wolfenstein games and then not have this one. All right, fuck it, fine, I'll get it. And then there's that Doom beta, which I'm not feeling very good about that.
Just a whole barrel of disappointment going.
Yeah, considering that they had to sort of plug it this way.
That's a shame.
Or sell Wolfenstein this way. It's like, if you give us money now, then we'll give you access to the Doom beta, because otherwise we're not sure if you'd really get this game.
All right. Well, for the next one we have it was what was it? It was 2008 when we first experienced a game with bullet time. Right? Wasn't that Max Payne?
Max Payne.
Yeah.
Well, here's a game that's nothing but bullet time.
Oh God.
It did look quite interesting the way it works. I thought that when I first read it, but
it's a Kickstarter. I'll let you know that right off the bat. But yeah, it's all about playing the game in bullet time. I'm not sure of the point of it, to be honest.
It's a concept idea, basically, is what this is. But it's quite an interesting one, that the way they've done it. Like, if you move, the bullets move, but if you don't move, the bullets stay still.
Or time stays still. I know everything was.
Yeah, time stays still. Yeah.
Oh, it's red light, green light. And so it's a concept. So they want to.
Receiver, is it?
This Kickstarter wants $100,000 based on their concept. Okay.
This was built as a concept, as one of those sort of design a game in 24 hours jobbies, I think.
SUPERHOT
I think that's where this came from.
A simple, very stylish and very engaging game
Is it,
where the time moves only when you move. That creates
I don't even know.
very different from the normal FPS type games.
Where's the target goal on Kickstarter?
100,000.
100,000.
So they actually asked for 100,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus, yeah.
Every step you take, you have as much time as you want to do it. Every bullet.
I don't understand like how you can make those calculations. Like, yeah, I understand the costs of game development. You know, all the software you need to buy, you need a premises usually, you need server equipment, you need a lot of stuff. But 100K?
That's still alive. The bullets are inching slowly towards your face.
Some mighty bold.
Like, do we ever see? Does anyone ever recall seeing like a full breakdown of here's what we spent all the money on? And it's like, you know, here's $2,000 for this license for this.
I wish we could see that.
Because I'd be really interested to know that maybe that's how they fix Kickstarter, is that they require you to itemize exactly what you're going to spend the money on.
I can support that.
Because I really want to know how they managed to spend 100K. Maybe I'm wrong, and you know, 100K is at like the low end of the spectrum. Yes. Need 100K just for an arm model in.
Media attention and a lot of YouTuber attention.
You could throw your gun at them. I'm out of bullets.
And then out comes another gun from more shooting.
You gotta pick up the guns off the people you kill.
Play the prototype in your web browser. They're building this on Unity.
Oh god.
Just like that other game.
That still isn't out.
Interstellar Marines.
Yep. That's been in development for like what, 67 years now?
It's been a long time. I think I did pick up Interstellar Marines during a bundle for a few bucks.
But yeah, you still don't have it.
The beta. It's
yeah, exactly though. It's like a
or alpha.
When did I get my game? But no, I think that'd be cool if like that's the requirement now, is you have to provide a thing of what you're gonna exactly what you're gonna spend the money on. I mean, it doesn't stop people from just making it up.
Yeah.
Well, then what you're suggesting is that people are investing, and that's not what Kickstarter is. It's not an investment.
How is it
handling? You're just giving money.
Yeah, true. But it should be an investment.
I agree. It should be.
I would, you know, I'd want to know. Like, it's exactly that. Actually, if I was investing in a company, actually, I'd want to know exactly what you're spending money on.
Exactly. Yes, you would. You would want to know.
And I want to see receipts of what you're spending money on. Because if I give you 100K, I want to know that you're using it what I'm giving it to you for. Like, you know,
we already
strip club.
We already had all the licenses, so we're not going to charge that. So it's just $99,000 goes to lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
service. I mean,
I wouldn't even want to hold them to it if they itemize stuff. It's just at least tell me where this number is coming from.
Yeah. Like, where are you getting that amount of money from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like I'm wrong, and they're now sitting there going, "No, you're an idiot," because his but show me this then. I'm genuinely interested. Like it's not like I'm calling people out. I actually want to know how you intend on having to spend 100K.
Yeah,
I guess it also depends on what they expect the final product to be, how polished.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, exactly. Then is that them inflating? Because inflating the amount of money they need because they think that, oh, this is going to be the greatest game ever.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, you should develop your game that way. You should develop it that way, but don't expect it to be, kind of thing.
Did they mention what platforms they were shooting for? Because that would explain the price. No, they didn't. Because a price for certain platforms on the engines can be extremely expensive. You want it on PC, it's maybe a couple thousand. You want it on Xbox, it's like 50,000.
It's on Greenlight and what?
Yeah, I didn't think that was allowed, but
so it's Team moved on to Steam's Greenlight program where it made it through in just one weekend. Now they're turning to Kickstarter to help. Well, if it's on Greenlight, why do they need 100k?
I don't know how these things work. I know I'm not interested in them. I leave it at that.
It seems like a interesting puzzle game, puzzle FPS, but
I do kind of enjoy where it's like, you know, this is a concept. We're gonna do something completely different with it, but this is the concept. Like, I like that. I like the fact that they're taking the time out to go, let's put out a proof of concept rather than building the game regardless of.
Yes.
That's cool. That's a good way to develop stuff. But at the same time, it's like, how are you spending 100, or how are you wanting to spend 100,000?
According to Kickstarter, it's PC, Mac, and Linux.
Wow.
Then the cost is not there.
Support.
The cost is not there.
No.
If they told me it was going to go on every console as well, that would be different. They're not saying that.
It's $33,000 for each platform, plus $1,000.
I think you may be onto something there, Val, with the whole, like, them actually just maybe not even intentionally, but inflating the amount of money they think that you're going to need because they're assuming that they're going to sell 50 million copies of this game.
Well, the other option is that they expect it to take 2 years to develop and they want to pay everyone's salary.
Well, that too.
It's got the goals here on their Kickstarter. So 100k fund the game, 120 better animations, 150 speedrun mode.
Like, how does
replay mode?
20,000.
Wait, $30,000 for speedrun mode?
150.
No, yeah, but that's a difference of from the previous. So
Yeah.
$30,000 for a mode.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really. How do you spend 20k on motion capture to assume what they're talking about with better animations? Or is it just they're just going to spend more time doing it?
120 will hire additional 3D animator to make the game look even nicer in motion.
So it's 20k, so they're going to pay a 3D animator 20k.
It won't be very good, but yes, I guess so.
So if you divide that up, they're going to pay. He's going to pay him 15k a year. So you're going to get no self-respecting animator is going to do that 15k.
They must plan on building this game in less than a year. No way. I mean, it's going to take 2 years at least, because that's what happens. But aside from that fact, they plan for less than a year.
Okay, so less than a year though, 20k.
You could probably. You're not going to find a good one, but you might find someone who's willing to donate some time in exchange for some money.
Powered by Unity.
I think they are sort of devs, Morphus, but they're selling it. They are selling a concept.
I just don't, and I know Strider agrees, or not agrees, but you know, it's the same thing. Like, I don't understand the whole Kickstarter thing when, if you have a really good concept, and why have you not just sold this to a publisher?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, they'll probably take control of your IP, and that, that is a valid reason.
Finding a publisher is not easy. I mean, you would think you just go out there and you start making calls and you get a publisher. It's not like that. It is actually pretty difficult, and I feel...
mean, you have to, like, I understand you have to pretty much whore yourself out everywhere, all day.
Not if you find the right publisher. It is possible to find one, and...
No, I just meant, like, it's not just a week of making calls. It's 6 months of making calls, and you got a meeting every 5 minutes. And the majority of them will be people that don't even care.
You want a publisher? You have a game to show and to discuss with plans and finances available. Set up, what is the thing called? It's not GD, Game Connection. Go to Game Connection. It usually goes on a week before or after, I don't remember which, a week before GDC in San Francisco. Get a table, set it up, and you will see more people than you realized were possible. With people with money that are interested to talk to you. that's what I just did, and it worked.
Well, there it is, folks.
Dr. Nano Extreme Edition.
No, it's a different casual game. I'm not getting into it here. Now this one, it's built on Unity. Based on what they're saying, I'm going to say it's built on Unity. I can't prove it, but
it's on the Kickstarter, powered by Unity.
There you go. Okay. So I want to go into that a little bit, saying that Unity does have some prices when it comes to consoles and that, but when it comes to PC, they should be able to get a few seats and whatever for... They can probably furnish their studio for $10,000 with all the seats they need. And with pro versions and whatever. And the versions, they come out pretty well. It depends on whether or not you're doing what kind of if you're going to do a standalone or web-based. They could be going either which way based on what they mentioned. Maybe they'll do both. But now Unity is also talking about how they're coming out with something called UNET, and that's going to be. Remember when you used to complain about how there was no real multiplayer functionality in there?
That's going to be my that exact question. It's going to be, how complete is Unity these days?
And I turned around and says, you're right, it's not there. You can develop it and put it in there, which I have done.
So this is going to be the net code, right?
This is going to be all the code you need to set up for multiplayer. Primarily, it sounds like the people that are behind this are people with experience in MMOs. But that... So, you know, more large-scale type of netcode, type of multiplayer stuff. But that does not mean, so you're not going to be able to just pick it up and say, okay, let's go make Quake. Because this is not like Unreal where they say, okay, here's your Unreal Tournament game. Start from there. This is going to be more like, okay, here's Star Wars.
That's interesting. Although that kind of makes me interested in this engine now. Because I remember us looking at different ones and it was kind of like, well, Unity's cool, but... without a solid kind of network framework, it would be, you spend 2 years developing the multiplayer portion of it.
Yeah.
But now if they're going to start adding that in, that's cool. I can get behind that.
They started.
I don't necessarily know how I feel about it being like more MMO-based style of networking, but
I'm assuming that's what it is because that's what the people who are working on it have experience in.
Yeah, it seems to me that a lot of MMOs use Unity, so it would make sense to take that.
Do they?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few.
Honestly, I can't name any big-name games that use Unity. I know a lot of people use it.
Marvel Heroes is on Unity, I think.
Really? I didn't know. Okay.
I believe so.
I think Unity is very powerful and it offers you a lot of options. Can you make a AAA title on it? With great effort. You'd put a lot less effort into it if you grabbed yourself an Unreal SDK or something.
Yeah, you will type it in the back, check and see if I'm right now.
Yeah, I was. I was Googling it right now.
And yes, it's very interesting, but note that the price of Unity is not as cheap as it originally was.
Not at all.
No, it is kind of like they've sort of gone, ooh. People are actually starting to...
If you make games... If you're serious about making games, and not just your own game, if you want to make your own game, if you want to work with groups, if you want to make games for other people, I think the license is worth it. It gives you a lot of options, but that's because I have a lot of experience in it.
Something I like about Unity is how flexible it seems to be. Or I don't know whether that's just because it's still kind of raw, so it's not so much like Unreal where they've locked a lot of stuff down into basically making, Unreal Tournament. Whereas Unity is much more open. I mean, that has pros and cons, I guess. That the fact that it's not that complete means it's a lot more difficult for you to develop something from scratch, I guess. But at the same time, I kind of like that. I like the fact that it's like open. It's almost like open source is what I want to say.
Well, I think Unreal is just as open. It just has a target in mind, like a focus.
Yeah.
And an example all set to go, whereas Unity, I don't think really has that example. I think it says, here's a bunch of tools, here's some ideas on how to use them, do what you want with it. So yeah, it doesn't give you any ideas, it just says, use your ideas.
Which, I don't know whether that's just good for first-time game developers or not. I suppose it depends on what you're doing.
If listeners out there are interested in knowing more about Unity, feel free to contact, and I'll I'll give suggestions, assistance, and stuff like that. That's what I used to do, and I know Unity well enough that I can steer you in the right direction.
And it'll charge $57,000 a year to do it.
Maybe I'll write another book.
Yeah.
We need another book. That's what we need.
I'm sure Strider will just love to edit that one.
I'll get you to do it, Welshie.
Oh,
All right, let's jump back to some other stuff, such as Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, and other services are coming to the Xbox One and Xbox 360. For those of you who don't subscribe to Xbox Gold, it's actually on its way to you.
Talk about
members out there.
Talk about being behind the curve. Jesus Christ. PlayStation is at Netflix for like a good 3 or 4 years now.
Yes, if they did this 3 years ago, then maybe I would still be using an Xbox. But you know, since then I've gone through Roku, Chromecast, and Samsung apps, other services, and put my Xbox in the attic, and that's where it stays. I feel guilty about throwing it away, so it's in the attic. I bought like 3 of them, so I might as well hold one.
It's as if they still believe they need AOL to get on the internet at Microsoft.
Yeah. They're all using like Lycos to Google stuff.
Yeah.
CompuServe. They all got CompuServe email addresses.
How are you all so far behind?
Netscape, yeah.
Netscape.
For some reason, Netscape's funnier than AOL to me now.
Well, it's Microsoft.
Yeah.
If they're going to do that and not put it behind this paywall now, surely that's going to change things over there, because everyone who bought their Xbox purely to be an entertainment system, now it's not behind that paywall, so they're not going to pay it. Their subscription fee.
That's true.
So
wait, don't you still have to?
Again?
Don't you still have to subscribe in order to integrate your TV to your Xbox?
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Oh, you can have this for free, but it won't work because you still need this bit.
I feel like that's what they used to say. I don't know. I didn't look into it.
So it's not gonna. It's in other words, it's not gonna cost you any extra.
Right.
It's still gonna cost you like whatever the Xbox Live subscription fee is.
No. I think you can watch Netflix now if you have a Netflix account that you're already paying for. And you don't have to have a gold account.
Oh, no, yeah, so it's not, but I don't mean free, like completely free, but there's no...
But if you want to watch your cable through your Xbox and have a guide to help you find the right channel to watch, I think you have to have gold. I'm not sure, but I think that's the way it works, that kind of stuff.
That's hilarious. Do they still print TV guides?
I don't know. I think they do.
In like, it must be in like magazines and stuff still, surely, and like newspapers.
I don't know. Waiting online, it's the other things that catch my eye, like who's screwing around on who and who's stabbed the other one, and those are more interesting to watch than TV Guide.
I'm not the TV Guide. I was my childhood, wasn't it?
But Xbox is also talking about how they're going to yank the Kinect out of the box and charge you $100 less for the whole thing.
The Xbox can never not have the Kinect because it ruins the experience. Not only
does it ruin the experience for the user, but think about all the developers, and they're trying to say make more stuff with the Kinect, but no one has a Kinect now.
Yeah, like literally, like probably about 2 weeks ago, I think it was in Ham. They were like, Microsoft said exactly that. We're not going to get rid of it because it's part of the integrated experience now, and we want to we don't want to break that. They kept saying integration a lot. I remember that. And now, let's just take it out. It's useless.
The whole thing with the Xbox was this Kinect. You have to have this Kinect. The whole thing works around this Kinect, and now they've just gone. No, that was bollocks. You can't actually just use it without the Kinect.
It's further evidence that Microsoft has no fucking idea what they're doing anymore.
But
well, they keep changing
voice commands.
People
aren't they the only way to do certain things?
Yes, that's the only way.
Recording. Isn't
it's the only way.
To voice command?
Yes.
So if you don't have the Kinect, you can't do that. So they're just going to cripple you so much by not having the Kinect that you're going to go out and pay the extra £100 to get the Kinect afterwards.
And really, if you're spending that much on a game console, what's $100?
Yeah.
Like realistically.
Well, Engadget did a poll, and so far this is what the poll was this morning, because I did the poll and took a snapshot of it. Would you buy the Xbox One now that it is $100 less expensive without the Kinect? 26% people say yes. That was the highest percentage. The next percentage, I like my PS4 instead. The next percentage, I still want Kinect. The next one, my PC does it better. The next one, no way. And the next one, nah, I've got Wii U, which is supposed to be the joke. So people are still using the PC, but some people would still buy the Xbox One without the Kinect. Because it's cheaper now.
I don't understand. I mean, in work, we've had an Xbox One since they came out, and it's still sat there. So who was buying these?
Yeah.
Because
I noticed that when I was in Target like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I noticed that like the case for the PS4s is just completely empty, and the Xbox One case is completely full. I mean, it's totally possible they just haven't restocked the shelf or something, but I mean, it just looks like it's like, well, that's interesting.
This is clearly not for you all. You all are beneath the Xbox One. You don't want to talk to your TV. You don't want to watch TV on your TV with the Xbox. You don't want to watch TV shows. You just want to play games. This is why would you want to buy this?
So this is not for you. There's nothing to see here. Just keep
yes. Exactly.
If you actually want to play games, go buy something else.
You go buy something else. That's funny. It's just very like as if Microsoft doesn't even. They have no direction anymore. They're just constantly playing catch up now. And it started with Apple, and then now it's now tripled over to the Xbox, and now they're struggling. You know, they've just put Netflix on it, for Christ's sake. Like,
well, what they're gonna do is tell you that everything is wrong now, and then go back to having you buy disc, but only to install games, and you have to have your Xbox connected once every 24 hours to play anything.
We're sorry, we screwed up. Here's Windows 7.1 and Xbox 361.
just start over. Just pretend all of that didn't happen.
The last 5 years didn't happen. Oh boy. All right, that's about an hour. So there's some other topics down there, unless you guys want to bring up something else before we wrap things up today.
I have a quick review thing here. I was going to save it until Strider's back for a full review, but I got the glasses, the no-scope glasses that he sent me.
The ones that help when you're working in the construction business.
It's supposed to be if you're constantly on the computer, so if you're playing games a lot. It's supposed to help your eyes. Now, I said for him to send me a set because I don't wear glasses at all. I don't wear contacts. I don't require them. I'm not a hipster, so I don't walk around with just empty frames on my head. So I said, okay, send me a pair and I'll try them out and see, does it bug me? So here they are.
He wore them yesterday and he didn't even need as much sleep.
Well, no. I'll save the big review for later, but here is the first problem I've come across. I'm wearing a headset, right? You see that? I'm talking to you. I'll try and put these on.
Too much curve?
I can't put them on with a headset on, therefore they are now completely useless.
That's as far as you've gotten?
Because I'm never not on my computer, here, without my headset on, usually.
Right.
Because I'm either playing something or I'm listening to music or I'm watching something.
Or you're drowning out your roommates.
Yeah, so in every sense of that word. So literally, I can't wear these with my headset on. They don't. I mean, I can do that, but that's quite painful. I know after a good 10-15 minutes, that's gonna start to hurt, and it pushes my headset out, so I can. It's not a
On the plus side, it's the same color as a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes, it is. They remind me of like safety goggles.
Yes, that's what he was saying.
And they're like, I won't go into the full review. I'll wait till Strider's back. But that's my main problem straight away. That was the first thing I discovered. I'm like, oh, put them on upside down, like break the arms off and tape them to my head. Like, how am I?
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll see more next week, maybe. What else? Anybody?
Earlier in the show, Welshie mentioned that a game should just be able to sell itself based on its gameplay and not hype. And yesterday I ran across a game called A Fistful of Frags. It's a free game on Steam.
Heard of that. Yeah.
It's a mod, a source mod, and on the
wait.
On the
no, that's something else, right? Go on. I'm sorry.
On the store page, for instead of some sort of hype trailer, the video is just a gameplay video, a compilation, and it looks like a really fun game. And that's just a great example of something sort of selling you on its gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And
it kind of reminds me of Counter-Strike meets the Wild West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like pure fun. And that's all. It's probably worth checking out. And it's free. And it started off as a mod, so yeah, I think it's got greenlit to be a standalone game. But that's how it should be. Gameplay should sell you, not a hype train.
200 trailers that relatively show you nothing.
Yeah.
And
well, I speaking of Steam and some interesting gameplay, yeah, okay, that was a mod. I played a mod this week for Portal 2 called Time Machine. And now what this mod does is it allows you to, with some custom maps, it allows you to play along with yourself. I had to make sure I phrased that properly, not to get anyone here excited. The idea is that you record what you're doing. You go and step on something, pick up a block and whatever, and then you play it back, and a bot of yourself does those recorded actions while you go do something else, so that you could have your player standing on something and setting up something so that it opens up a door, so that when you're on the other side of the wall, you can walk through the door. You can set it up so that you have to your one self crouches down and your other self jumps on top of your back and then jumps up onto the wall, and then your recorded self goes and steps on a button and then you go through the door. You know, that kind of stuff. It was an interesting idea, and I played a few levels. It was a little raw, but it was good. And yes, it's free since it's a mod if you already own Portal 2.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Right. And now, one of the things that made me want to play it is innovation, something that hasn't been done, that I haven't seen done. All right.
And these are the games that get passed by.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? No.
Wolfenstein review next week.
Wait,
subtext angry Wolfenstein.
Now, next week, actually, like in 3 weeks, right?
No, it comes out on Tuesday.
What is coming out at the end of the month? I thought there was something else at the end of the month that I was interested in. Things coming out.
I have no idea.
Yeah, something we talked about a week or two ago. All right, whatever. All right, then I'll wrap things up here and say thanks to our host for taking the time out to chat today. Breezy, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
Ham, thank you for popping in and joining us today.
Glad to be here.
And Welshie, thanks a lot for getting up early just for our show.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
And on that note, I am going to say we'll be back next week with a couple more things to talk about, at least, right? And in the meantime, go play some games or have some fun or learn to make a game. There's an idea.
Yeah.
All right. See ya. Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com. And please consider subscribing to modsonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.
Do, 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 do. I was waiting to see who would ruin the awkward silence.
All right, everyone. Take care.